everybody, this is Diane, Material Girl 338. Today I'm doing a really great recipe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have some phyllo dough. I'm going to be making this. But I have some ingredients from last night's dinner, and before my husband gets out of the shower because he doesn't like certain cheeses, I'll tell you the ingredients. I have Philadelphia cream cheese. I have feta cheese. I have, of course, the dough. I have some grated Parmesan cheese. And these are chicken cutlets. And I have a video on this. It's a copycat, Olive Garden copycat flatbread pizza. So I made the chicken cutlets last night. They're marinated and they're dredged in egg and flour. And then I fry them in a little bit of oil, and then I put wine in it. And watch the video, you'll get the idea of this. And I have some roasted peppers, and this is the sauce for the flatbread. So, and this has just the chicken, you know, it has the remainings of the chicken in here. Onions, shallots, fresh parsley, a cup of milk, and no, I use a cup of buttermilk because I use the powdered buttermilk, and in that cup I put 3 tablespoons of grated cheese, and I added 1 egg yolk, and a little salt and pepper, fresh parsley. And then after I do the chicken cutlets, I take them out, and then I add the white wine into the with the egg yolk and the buttermilk, and then I put it in the pan, the frying pan, and it slowly thickens up because this has flour in it. So I also have here British, it's wine cheddar cheese. So I'm going to grate a little bit because I'm going to use like 3 or 4 different cheeses. So I'm just going to do a little bit to give it some cheese blend. And I'm also going to add some frozen spinach that I have, and this should come out delicious. So I'm going to do this in segments, but I wanted to do this first because I don't want my husband to see the cheeses. Okay, and this cheese is so delicious. I get it at Costco, and if you see it, it's got a British flag on it, and it says champagne cheddar. That's the name of it. Okay, so I have some cheddar. I don't think that's enough, so I'm gonna keep on doing this. This flatbread, it's gonna be my signature dish because I already know it's gonna come out delicious. Down. I have a mess over here. Okay, so I have a pan, and I brushed it with some oil. The chicken I'm going to cut up, but first I'm going to lay down the phyllo dough. Now this is the, this dough is the one, it's like the puff pastry dough. So it has like different layers to it. You can make those triangle puff pastry, I don't know what you call them. See, so now it comes in a sheet, right? Let me move this out of the way. Let me move you guys out of the way. So it comes in a sheet. And you're going to have to put some oil on the sheets, because then or else it gets it's too dry. So let me fill up some oil. So as you see, it comes in a couple of sheets. There's a lot of sheets in here, okay? Can you see that? So I'm going to take about 4, 5, 6 sheets. And lay them down. Okay, and now you're going to brush them with some oil. And I want to do this in so you can see me do it. So you want to brush some oil on it. And now the chicken cutlets, I'm going to cut them. So when you're working with the phyllo dough and the remaining sheets that you're not using at this time, just fold them up because they'll dry out. Okay, so we're going to put some. I have to cut these up. And they're so tender that they fall apart. So I'm going to make nice, thin, not too thick slices. And I'm going to just sprinkle them as I go all along. So give these nice thin slices. This chicken is so delicious and it's so easy, but the only thing is that there's a lot of prepping to this recipe. So I did start like a day before, because the roasted peppers, I do everything fresh. The roasted peppers I did in the oven. You don't have to go into the, you don't have to use the roasted peppers the way I do, but I like using fresh ingredients because it's the best flavors you can get. Okay, so I'm gonna just right now. I'm going to put some of the roasted peppers on. Now, if you don't want to do the roasted peppers, you can buy them in the jar. I think Mancini makes them, and they're in the supermarket, and they just say roasted, peppers. Sprinkle some of this. And put some of the cream cheese on it. Okay, and then I'm going to also add the frozen spinach. Friends, I put some frozen spinach on it, and I'm going to put some of my gravy that I made. You can buy, like, you know, fresh spinach and wash it good, and you can freeze it. I have a video on a couple of things that I do freeze. I freeze basically everything. I'm going to sprinkle some salt on this. And I have a little bit more of the chicken, so I'm going to use, and I still have more. Okay, so just a little bit of salt. Just want to give it some flavor. Now, you get two options. You can leave it like this, let it grow, because what happens is you put it in the oven and then it puffs up, the pastry puffs up. Or you could roll it, but it's too thick and I'm not going to roll it. But I am going to add some more cheese to it. Okay, and I just have to look at the box because I don't know how long or what temperature you bake it at. 375. All right, so I'm going to put this in the oven for 375, and then I'll show you the finished. Okay, this is, I put one pan in the oven of the phyllo dough pizza. I just want to be on camera. This is, okay, so I have some parchment paper. I have another pan. And I'm just going to put some olive oil in the bottom, even though it's not going to stick, because it's parchment paper. And you take a couple of sheets of the phyllo dough. I'm going to make another one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please don't touch. All right, so I have a couple of sheets here of the phyllo dough, and I'm going to add some more olive oil. Friends are back. So I put a couple of sheets of the phyllo dough in the pan, and now I'm going to add, I brushed it with some olive oil, and I chopped up my chicken. You know, I was just thinking, if you don't want to do the chicken the way that I do it, you can just get a roasted chicken, or you can just get some chicken cutlets. If you don't want to do the chicken cutlets, you could just get a roasted chicken that's already pre-cooked and just chop it up. And it should come out good, but I mean, this has got good flavor because when I fried it in the olive oil and the dredged, you know, it in the flour and the egg. So I want to top it with the spinach again. I had to adjust my oven. So now I have some fresh frozen spinach. Put this away. This defrosts very quickly. And I'm going to put some cheese on top of it, some of the cheddar. And I'm thinking to put, if you guys have like marinated artichokes, that's a good idea. You can put marinated artichokes. But the flavor from this sauce and the chicken that I made, it is delicious. I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese on it. Just a little bit. Because I don't want it to take away from the flavor of the other cheeses. A little bit of salt. And then I guess I'll use the rest of this. And now I could either cook it like this, or I could layer it. But I'm thinking you can add some tomato to this. I'm just going to do half with the tomato. Guys, I took some fresh little baby cherry tomatoes. I'm going to just cut a little bit of them. Now I want to be in camera. I have a mess here. And I also took some mushrooms that I made last night. These are portobello mushrooms. And I cooked them and I fried them in a pan in olive oil and a little bit of butter. And then I put red wine. So I'm going to add some of those, and I have some of these cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to add them on one section. And these are delicious. These portobello mushrooms are delicious. Sprinkle some of those on. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this phyllo dough, I'm going to cover it with more phyllo dough. So I'm going to make like a pocket. With the wine, with the red wine in them. And then I have some sun-dried tomatoes. I'll do 2 or 3. These are from my garden in the summertime. And if you want to know how to make them, I have a video on how to do sun-dried tomatoes. And the way I do them is the way that they do them in Sicily, Palermo. You just sprinkle a little bit on. A little bit more of this cheddar, because that's what gives it the flavor. And then I'm going to add the other phyllo to top it off. Now I'm going to put some oil on this because it needs it. And I want to be in focus so you see what I'm doing. There's a lot of recipes that you could do with this phyllo dough. It's amazing. So I'm going to put just a couple of sheets on it. And I'm going to keep on adding some oil to it. I'll put like 2 more sheets on it. And then I'm going to just brush this with the oil. Now you don't have to do it this way. You could roll it and then, you know, slice it like, you know, like a roll. You can make the little triangles to do whatever your heart desires. And in the box, they give you two of these. So, and these do last a long time. You can freeze them. So, okay, I'm going to put this in 375 till it gets nice and gold, and then I'm going to take it out. Friends, one of the phyllo doughs, pizza, I don't know what to call it, but it's ready. It came out, and you see how thin they are? They just break apart. This is good too, this way, or if you want to, roll it up, you know, brush it with olive oil, and then slice it, like make little logs. And then when you slice it, you have all the ingredients inside, like a pinwheel. So the other one is still cooking in the oven, but I cooked this at 375. Guys, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please post them below. I do interact with my fellow YouTubers. And please subscribe to my channel because I always have new videos coming in. Thank you.